great. At this time, we, I got it backwards. I was looking at 10:30. We,
I'd like to thank Michelle for giving us a heads up.
yeah. I'd like to call the June 20th, 2016 meeting of the Limestone County Commission to order. Is there any public comment, Pamela?
I have none, except for Kelly.
Mr. Kelly? I was in the courthouse Friday. I noticed they got all the electrical cans in for the recess lighting.
Yes.
We're waiting on the,
laying lights for the ceiling grid. Most of them will be in this week.
and they started putting some of the ceiling grid in. I noticed in the
Oh, yeah.
stairwells and all that, it was in. And
And the ceiling grid is completed throughout the building.
I mean, they've started actually putting the fillers in, whatever
Oh,
the
yeah,
acoustic part.
The tile, we're allowing the borders around the walls.
Right.
But we gotta leave most of it open because the electrical engineer still does he's got an inspection to come.
But you've got all that on site. That's in all those boxes, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir. No,
And there's laying tile in the ladies' bathroom, ceramic
Yes.
tile.
they've got, on third floor, they got the ceramic tile going in the public restrooms on the floors. Border being put up as far as the ceiling grid. We've got all the can lights in up there. Paint, is pretty much completed on third floor. Trim work's completed. All the doors are
Who
hung.
did the trim work? Who, I met him. Who is it?
Uh,
The company?
H&R,
They don't play, do they?
no.
Once you turn them loose, man, they rock and roll.
Hector Gomez or something like that. He's working under Garber Construction.
Well, he top notch, I'd say, because once you turned him loose, he was wild. He didn't slow down. He knocked it out quick.
He's a good carpenter.
Did good.
He's got most of the trim work in the building is complete. We've got some little odd and end stuff, but,
I thought the new stairwells look good where they painted it.
mhm.
I mean, it looks, that's kind of, once you're in the courthouse proper and it still maintains the historic, the oak and all that, and when you walked in those new fire stairwells had put in, it's like you just walked into a brand new building.
Yeah,
It just been
that's-
built. It was,
It's more modern looking in
Yeah.
those areas
Yeah.
because you have just the block walls and the steel railings and stuff. So.
Right.
And they're finishing those up today, so those stairwells will be painted out today. We're working on first and second floor, finishing the painting on the walls and the trim work. That should take another week to 2 weeks to finish all that up. But third floor is pretty much finished as far as painting and trim. We've got some touch-up to do to the stain trim, like plugging the nail holes and things like that. That's about all that's left on third.
one thing I do need to do that I didn't realize, but I think it's really neat, is Mark or Judge Woodruff one, you can get with the Judge Horton statue. Did you know where they were gonna place that?
It's on the southwest corner, isn't it?
No, they're gonna put it in the concrete in front of the steps
On the west side.
on the west side. What you think about, a lot of them are buildings are that way, you know. They said, man, those steps are not gonna be used. I think it's a really
Yeah.
neat place to put it, but I didn't realize. But Judge Woodruff and Mark can, because he's in charge of that project, said the base was donated. Someone had donated the base for the statue to sit on. And I told him if y'all will get to the dimensions of that base, Mark, and get with Kelly, because we're fixing here when we approve this, redoing some concrete work out there, we can go ahead and cut out the concrete for that base, or however it's gonna set in, and run some, we need to get the conduit run for the light. And we can put in just a couple of recessed floodlights, you know, flush with the ground. It'll shoot them on the statue, because now, so because we're fixing to prove the concrete where they messed that up, which was, I say they messed it up, there's no way to haul all them brick construction debris and put on
Yeah,
100-year-old concrete and not crack it up, so.
That change order is for one contractor to handle all the patching of the concrete
Great.
instead of each individual contractor trying to repatch his area that he
Right.
had to take up. So a lot of that money will be deducted out of some of the other contractors.
I got you. But I
Contract.
still, you know what I'm talking about, Mark, while we get
Yes.
that, it'd be best to cut that out now.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all were gonna try to set that base on, but you need to get with Kelly on that existing concrete, but still, we need to maybe get it saw cut or however you gonna trench
Yeah,
the electrical conduit over there. Because those recessed lighting won't cost anything, and that's the way to go since it's in that sidewalk, it won't.
The project committee actually had a meeting, kind of a status meeting, if you will, and that was one of the things we talked about, and I was thinking that one of the other committee members had been in touch with Brian. Maybe Kelly was out, and I think somebody else had talked with Brian about that. So that is in the works, about
Yeah,
trying to coordinate that
saw where the
if possible.
email course.
and
Oh,
then,
okay, great, great. I didn't know, before we had that mock light up Thursday night, Judge Woodruff said, but I think it is a neat place to put it, right there. You think a lot of your governmental buildings, that's where they have it, or, college campuses in the middle.
Yeah, and just back where we was at, the third floor is basically finished out, except for the hard floor tiles and the bathrooms and the carpet, of course, which will come last. It looks like we'll be late July putting in the carpet, and by then the second floor will be ready. But second floor is a little bit further behind. The third floor, we're still painting the walls. We still got a lot of trim work to paint, but they're working on that daily. All the can lights are installed on that floor. Also, the trim work's completed on the second floor. Other than the judges' benches, we're still working on that casework. First floor ceiling grid, they completed it last week. Trim work is completed in most areas down there. There's still some discussion about some of the finishes on the perimeter offices that may have been left out of the finish schedule. So we're looking into that. The plumbing fixtures are starting to be installed on first floor in the public restrooms, and have been ordered for all the other restrooms. So as soon as we get a restroom available after the ceramic tiles been finished, we'll be falling in with the plumbing, setting the fixtures in those areas as that goes. And miscellaneous, the painting of the walls and the railings and the stairwells, like he talked about, is ongoing, should finish up today. The data communication wiring, the rough end's completed. I was speaking with Jonathan early this morning, and we will be fixing the data and communication room in the next couple of days so we can start setting the server racks and that kind of thing, so we can get the fiber optics running to the building. And that should happen in the next 2 weeks. And we're starting today with the cleaning of the outside of the building. So there's going to be quite a bit of overspray from the water. We're just going to be using
We're eliminating
lightweight.
this pipe on this end that's coming down the third floor.
Yeah, that's not part of this, but they will be working on that later on. This is the roofing project we did where we're cleaning the stone up high.
Right.
And that starts today. And that's where we're at.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No more public comment. You call roll, please, ma'am.
Commissioner Hill,
Here.
Commissioner Turner,
Here.
Commissioner Black.
Here.
Commissioner Harrison.
Here.
All are present. Commissioner Black, would you lead us in our pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. All right. First item, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from June 1st, 7th, and 14th, 2016. Do I hear such motion?
So move.
Have a motion by Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $1,640,067.50 as submitted to the commission. Do I hear such motion?
Make a motion.
Have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There are no resolutions or orders to come before the commission under contracts, agreements, and grants. I'll ask for a motion to approve fiscal year 2016 Emergency Management Performance Grant State Cooperative Agreement in the amount of $2,112. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harrison. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve services contract with Sonia Anthony to act as grants coordinator for the Limestone County Commission, $25 per hour for time worked or such compensation not to exceed the annual limitations allowed an ERS service retired employee effective July 19th, 2016. Do I hear such motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison, Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve the following leases for the Sheriff's Department for an annual rent of $1 each. There are two 2016 Chevrolet Cruze automobiles. Do I hear a motion to approve such leases?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion approving, authorizing, approving a CDBG application and memorandum of understanding with Limestone County Water and Sewer Authority to develop water system improvements within adjacent to the Oakland community. Do I hear a motion to approve such application?
Make a motion to approve it.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve agreement with Premier Structures Incorporated for refurbishment of the Limestone County Archives Restoration Sprinkler System, an amount of $311,987. This is all grant money, just needs our approval. I hear a motion to approve such agreement.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There are no budget revisions to come before the commission, no emergency purchases, no board appointments, no bids to be awarded, so we'll move on to personnel action. Of course, you realize you're stealing one of Pamela's girls up here when you promote Sabrina, so I'll ask y'all to say you make your motion at your own risk. With that being said, I'll ask for a motion to promote Sabrina Bates to Assistant Director for Council on Aging. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Oh, a bunch of them second, Pamela. I'm second, I believe. It's either Mr. Harrison or Mr. Hill.
No, we'll miss Sabrina.
We'll miss her a whole lot at the office. This is,
I'm afraid we'll still see her a lot.
well, that's entirely true, but
She is watching this, you know.
she will still be with the county, just with Susan at Council on Aging, and she did a fantastic job as our accounts payable, and I know she'll do a fantastic job with Susan. So we have a motion and a second. If there's no more discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Motion
Aye.
carries unanimously. Please let the minutes reflect Mr. Black is the one that made the motion on that, despite the known perils. Moving on, I'll ask for a motion to approve family medical leave for Justin Smith beginning July 18th, 2016, and ending August 1st, 2016. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There are no merit increases to come before the commission. Yeah, here we go. That time we all look forward. Everybody tunes in every 2 weeks. Our engineer, Mr. Bryant Moss.
worth the price of admission, sir. All I have for you today is a 25-mile-per-hour speed limit on Jackson Lane in District 2.
All right, that's it?
That's it.
I'll ask for a motion to approve a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit on Jackson Lane in District 2. Do I hear such motion?
I make a motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Turner, I have a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion?
This was a request of at least one of the residents on that road. Said it was small children and people driving really fast.
We have a motion and a second. If there's no other discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carries unanimously. First item in other business, I'll ask for a motion to approve the insolvencies, errors, and taxes in litigation for 2015 and uncollected insolvents and taxes in litigation for previous year as presented by Revenue Commissioner's Office. This is something we have to do every year. It's basically bookkeeping to clean up any discrepancies or anything for Brian. I'll ask the motion to approve these insolvencies and errors as submitted to the commission.
Make a motion to approve them.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, approve the following change orders for Phase 3 of the courthouse renovation project. Amount of $18,757.93. If I understand Kelly correctly, some of this will come back and be deducted because it'll come out of other contractors. Because the major thing on here is these, letting one contractor do the concrete repair to the outside sidewalks and so forth. Do I hear a motion to approve such change orders as submitted?
I make a motion.
Have a motion by Mr. Turner and a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Final item, approve amendment to Carpenter Technology Project Agreement extending final jobs target date from July 1st, 2016 to January 1st, 2018. I hear a motion to approve the amendment as submitted to the commission.
Motion to approve it.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Black. On any discussion, I know you were out of town. J.C., this is, they're pushing, they've got 170.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. This is the 18-month extension that they
Yeah.
wanted. Yeah, I read it.
Okay, you got it, good. All righty, any more discussion?
Because they went from 177 or going
Well, they're supposed to
200.
hire 200 by this date, but they're just pushing the date
That's
back.
right.
But the state's agreed, we're doing, and the amount of ad taxes they're paying to education, million a year.
All right.
And our money that, this delays us paying the $333,000, which was the last installment of $1 million that the commission had approved, but that money has been set aside from that time on, so it don't put any, it don't help us or hurt us as far as our money flow, because it's been set aside.
Yes.
So, if there's no more discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There are no scheduled public hearings to come before the commission. At this time, we'll move to report of the officers. Commissioner Hill.
Yes, I'd just like to report on some of the summer programs that we're going to try to finish. We're going to install some caution lights at Pine Chapel School. These will be provided by the local legislative body. We appreciate that. Going to enlarge the parking lot Elkmont High School. We're going to finish up chip sealing the roads that we have ground up and set back down. Also, the normal summer maintenance, be careful, watch bush hogs, bushwhackers, patchers, and then we're going to try to finish up the State Line Road. That's a joint project with the state of Tennessee. We're going to finish that up this summer. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Commissioner Turner.
We started mowing today. This is the first time we've had to go through the whole district mowing thanks to the spraying program. But we did start over on the eastern side, and we'll be working our way from east to west. East Limestone Road, contractor Reed Contracting is out there. They got one lane complete from 72 all the way to Copeland, and they started back at Copeland, and this morning they were back at Barksdale Road. I asked how far were they going today, and they said as far as possible. So who knows where that'll be, but it's looking good, and they're doing a great job.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Black?
We're steady trimming trees off the sides of the road. Got a lot of farmers down around in my district where equipment and stuff is hitting the limbs. A lot of it is from just a few years back when we had tornadoes. A lot of those limbs and stuff have fallen on down, and they've come on down a little bit more, and we're having to go back and cut those using a bushwhacker. Picking up a lot of trash down in the south part of the county. I don't know what the deal is with that, but there's a lot on the sides of the road. We just got our final contract with TVA to do the breakwater barrier area down there at Cal Ford. It's money being paid to us to reimburse us to do the work, to maybe help save some boats and maybe even save some lives, because it's the way the water comes in down there at our campground. So that's it.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Harrison?
Last week we got through with Todd Cemetery Road and Anderson Road. Anderson Road we swept just this morning. We tried on Todd Cemetery Road. We put down 78s, which is our normal gravel for paving the chip seal road. But then we went over the last layer with manufactured sand. Rogers Group provided us with, and we got it's a lot better surface on the 78s. It sealed it off, less road noise, and it gave a smoother product. And let me explain why we did Todd Cemetery Road. I was getting some criticism for that because they said, why are you paving a cemetery road? It was a short 0.6 mile road. We were using our new distributor that we got, and we had to work out some problems in getting that done. It was only putting out at a rate of 54% what it was supposed to be doing. So we used that road to get all of our equipment issues settled. We went in and calibrated our chip spreader and put it back in manual to mode where we wouldn't get that oscillation and rub board effect on the road. So we used that as a test bed. We had two different surfaces starting out with. We had a paved surface and then we had an unpaved surface, so we could see how these new materials would work on a paved and unpaved. And so it allowed us to do work with different parameters to come up. And what I'm working toward is trying to come up with a better way and a better surface on our chip seal roads, plus figure out a way to save our plant mix roads and improve the surface on our plant mix roads instead of just chip sealing over a plant mix road. So we did that, and Todd Cemetery's finished. It looks good. But we learned something on Anderson Road. When we went to Anderson Road, we've got two different surfaces on it. We started using 89s, which is a smaller rock, and then and on top of that, on part of that, and it's on part of it because we ran out of the manufactured sand Friday. We may go back and put manufactured sand on top of that. But both the 89s and the manufactured sand really work well. We had problems with getting the right rate of manufactured sand down because of the moisture content of the manufactured sand. It wouldn't go through the chip spreader. And we found out if you get dry material, and I've talked to Ely Christopher, and he says the stored stockpile is where we need to pull from in future instead of coming right out of the screw. We'll get a drier product. So it really looks well. My plan is that the 89 surface is good enough on a chip seal road. I'm going to still work with the manufactured sand because I want to use my chip seal roads on the manufactured sand to try to come up with an acceptable surface so that I can transition to a plant mix road.
What was the size rock that they used on East Limestone when they did the base layer?
I think they were 57s, I believe that's what he told me, but I ain't
I
sure.
don't small too.
I'll say, because I don't have anything to do with the roads, as y'all know, it's y'all's but Battramville Road over in Stanley's district, Commissioner Hills, that was the worst road imaginable. You could not go down it over going 5 miles an hour. And right after Stanley got in office, of course, he went in there and took it up and put base down it. But whatever rock you put down there, I was there come through there this weekend. That's as good a chip seal road as you could conceivably do. It's as smooth as plant mix asphalt right on it. Have you been down there lately, Pat? I ain't kidding you. Have you been down it lately, Stan?
Yeah, it's
That's
still,
as good as it
it's
gets.
still holding up, yeah.
I mean, it ain't gonna get no better than that. It's just like that table right there.
Well, you know, Mark can comment on what the surface,
I don't know
what he, how he viewed this one this morning.
Both of the surfaces were very good. Those 89s really come out a much smoother product. You don't have those ridges like you do with the 78s, those number 7 stones. They leave some higher ridges, which leads to some more road noise. The 89s, I mean, the road noise on those it was minimal, and it was a good, smooth traveling road. The going over it with that sand layer, it cut out some of some additional road noise by a small amount, but the advantage I think I talked with Ben about was that we're actually sealing over those 89s with a cheaper surface to hopefully stop us from losing any additional rock with additional travel on the road, because we had very little rock that was lost just from using just from the initial sweeping of the 89s, but then that sand layer really finally seals it off, and it's a good clean looking road, and it's a smooth road. For a chip seal road, it's a really good road. If you get a chance, it would be one to go look at.
Yeah. I talked to Ely Christopher with Rogers Group. I did not realize that those 89s were unwashed. They were not washed.
Really,
That's amazing.
That's why the dust.
Yeah, yeah. But we got good adhesion.
We did.
Yeah.
We got good adhesion. We got very little loss of rock, and it's but there is still a little bit of dust, but a few rains will knock that dust down and get that rock washed.
Mm-hmm. And I want to commend the paving crew. I mean, we were dealing with two materials that we'd never used before. The manufacturer's sand, we never tried to use that, and the 89s, they never put 89s before. They were really pleased with how well it came out of the chip spreader. So anyway, if you get there may be an issue with supply because we have Reed and they use that in their plant on their plant mix, the 89s, and they're making some changes to their production down here then they may get 60 tons per hour where they were producing 50 tons. But I'm going to give him some numbers and see if he can supply us this summer with that material, because that's my plan right now on a chip seal road, to convert to the 89s, because it just gives you a better surface. So anyway, and then we'll continue to work, and I'm still going to use that manufactured sand on some chip seal roads to try to get it to where we can consistently do get the rate down on the manufactured sand, and where we can transition to a plant mix road. We looked at, Mark and I and Randy and Terry Bob went and looked at Persimmon Tree Road. We're going to be working on that road for a good while. What happened is that when that road gets a lot of heavy traffic, and the right lane going northwest is coming apart. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go in and cut it and take up the asphalt and come in and do cement stabilization on those base failures, and that's going to be time consuming. And we're going to put some signage and reduce the speed level, because that's a hilly road and it's going to be a safety issue. And we just ask the public to bear with us this summer, because that's going to be a long, drawn-out process. But it needs to be done before we go in and put an expensive surface on top of it. So just bear with us there. The project, the Federal Highway Fund project, it was originally planned to do Parker Road and Baker Hill. AlDOT will not give us a waiver. They have recommended that I widen Baker Hill a foot on either side. They didn't just recommend, they said, you're gonna widen it a foot on either side. So, and they wouldn't, I tried to get them to give us a waiver on that, they would not, okay? They will give us a waiver on the distance between the edge of the pavement and the guardrail, but they won't give us a waiver on the width of the road. So we're gonna have the guardrail within a foot of the edge of the road in some spots. So so that's gonna really increase the cost of Baker Hill. So what we're looking at, we've not finalized how we're gonna do it, but so that I've got enough money to finish the project, I'm gonna shift and maybe leave Parker Road out of the project and then go in and go towards Sportsman's Park on the Elk River Mills and maybe go over to the Y on the other side of the bridge. So we're gonna look at the cost there, and if I can do that, that's what I'll do. And then I use my own money to do Parker Road. I think we've talked about that in here. Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of fluid right now, but that mandate is going to really increase the cost of doing that project. And also, I want to have a discussion in the next work session. Steve, you weren't here, but we got letters from the, you know about it?
I don't know what you're about to say.
Well, the federal highway funds, the AlDOT sent us letters on projects, and some of them were from 6 years to 10 years ago that was overruns, okay? And they're putting that all in this year, saying that, hey, we've got 50,000, and it falls on me, I'll have $50,000 less than the 533,000. And we discussed it a little bit in the work session this past time of how we deal with that, because these are I have no problem dealing with my cost overruns and carrying that portion of it, but I think that we need to go back and find out where these projects were, and then each district carry that cost of whatever were projects that were cost overruns. I don't think it should all fall on District 4. And it's kind of like what we said about the 533,000, that anything over, then we carry that out of our own funds. So if y'all want to discuss that now, or if y'all are in agreement with that, or we can discuss it in the next work session, if y'all want to comment on it. I think that's the best way to go back, the best way to handle it.
Just talk about it at the next work session.
Okay.
Be all right with me.
Okay. And that's all I have.
All righty. Well, with that, we will thank everyone for coming. Everybody have a great week. Stay cool, and we will recess until 10 a.m. Wednesday, June 29th, 2016 at the Washington Street Courthouse Annex at 310 West Washington Street.